pretty crisp. I'm going to be driving the Rally Fighter, built by Local Motors, on the Parker 425. We're going to be running it in the sportsman class, running 2 laps. I'm going to do the first lap, and Brendan Fikes is going to be running the second lap.
Is this going to be a sportsman buggy or sportsman truck?
This is going to end up being actually a sportsman sedan.
Okay.
It's not a truck nor a buggy. It's got an A-arm front suspension with a solid axle rear suspension. Okay, basically the only changes we've done in this car from our production vehicle are for safety. We've added a larger front bumper. We put in some sidebars for safety for our driver and co-driver, and we've added a rear bar and a fuel cell.
Okay.
Also, one triangle in the back. We needed to X the actual bars in the rear for safety for Best in the Desert and score legality.
So,
testing as far as this car goes, we probably put about 500 miles on it in Barstow, actually testing shocks, springs, droop, making sure everything cleared. And those were pretty flawless test miles. We broke a couple sway bars. We broke one tie rod end, and other than that, just normal testing. Shock changes, spring changes, things like that. Yeah, there's going to be certain parts of the course where this car is going to have a great advantage over some of the competition. It's got a LS3 all-aluminum V8 motor in it, puts out about 435 horsepower. Car's tipping the scales right at 4,750 pounds, so it's got a very good horsepower to weight ratio. The fire roads, some of the faster roads, this thing's really going to move. When we get into some of the deeper whoops that Parker has, the 2, 3, 4 foot whoops, we're going to slow it down a little bit because it's its inaugural race. We want to make sure we get it to the finish line. Yeah, we've actually entered it in the NORA race already. We're going to run this car. Also, a gentleman who just bought another car out of Barrett-Jackson, he's going to also enter his vehicle. So we'll have at least 2 cars in the NORA race, possibly 3. In the front end, everything is basically stock. Comes with the stock A-arms, comes with Fox bump shocks, the internal bypass 2.5 shocks also, Howe power steering, large reservoir, and the LS3 Corvette motor. The only bar we added in the front suspension components is this bar right here, just for support because the bump stops are taking a little bit of a beating in some of the bigger whoops. We added a door bar just for strength, for safety. Coming back to the back, we added an entire spare tire rear bumper bar to hold a spare, and we also carry an interior. This is the stock location for the production car spare. This one is an additional aftermarket spare we put in. One more thing is the street legal license plate. We drove it here. I'm hoping to be able to drive it home tomorrow after the race. That's the idea. We also got one triangle bar in the back for just in case of an endo. That's one of those safety issues.